Hello, welcome. So I have an important message for you today, and I know this is what you need to hear. This is for you, and you need to hear this right now. So what is the message with the highest intention for the greatest and highest good of all who is watching this video? Babe, your experience is right on time. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, and don't worry about it. Old belief systems are being cleared out right now, so you're being subtly triggered in different ways, and be grateful that they're subtle triggers, because once in the past they were much bigger triggers. So like you're working through you're just enough like remnants of dust out your vehicle to make it squeaky clean, and they used to be really big dust particles in your metaphorical car, and now they're tiny little particles. So like be proud of how far you've come. I'm so proud of you. Your spirit team is so proud of you. You're doing so well, and stay focused on what you're calling in, because if actually you look at it from the bigger perspective, a higher perspective, take the bird's eye view, you are being beckoned, you are being activated, moved in the direction of the things that you are calling in. You are slowly transitioning towards these things, and trust. And even especially when it doesn't make sense to the mind, trust, because that's when your connection with source is everything. You know, you've already worked on your connection with source. You've worked on trust in source, having faith, having trust in the divine, trust in the universe, trust in yourself. So trust this natural occurrence too, because you know that you always get what you want. You know this is how it works by now. Gonna let that wind confirmation of communication coming in. Communication is coming in soon, so trust and keep going, and sit with these little niggles. It's great that you've got presence with these niggles, and you're not allowing these niggles to drive the car. Instead, you're aware of these niggles and you're working with them. You're always being guided. You're always guided all the time by your oversoul, by your higher self. There's a beautifully, divinely orchestrated plan ushering you towards every dream, every desire, and so much more. The life of your dreams in so many abundant ways. So many abundant ways to trust the unknown, ride with what is here now. Do everything you're doing, you're right on time, you're right on track, you're doing everything you should be doing. You're present with your emotions, you're present with what's coming up within you, you're curious about them, you're staying open, you're prioritizing faith, you're prioritizing how you feel, and that's what matters. And you're becoming more aware of your focus and what things you're focusing on the things that you want more of, that you're calling in, checking in with your inner vision, making sure it still aligns, making sure that you know where you're headed, so that, well, it makes sense what I'm going through right now, because if that's where I'm headed, there's a bird soaring right now. Amazing. It's like not even flapping, and that's what you're doing. Still, you're soaring. You're not driving the car anymore. Your angels are driving the car, and you're just in the passenger seat, and you're noticing the turns and the bends, but your only job is to trust that your angels will get you to your desired location. That's your only job. You're the passenger seat princess, or prince if you're a man. You're being chauffeured. You're a queen being carried by all your loved. Can you hear that bird there? That's crazy. If you could hear that, that was insane. That one there. Amazing. So yeah, I think what it is that you're just hyper aware to those little subtle changes, because you're really wanting to make sure that everything goes in the direction where you want it to be, so that it's almost like you're wanting to micromanage, because you're so used to being in control and driving the boat. But you're not driving the boat anymore. You're not driving the car. Spirit, your angels, your guides are driving the car and taking you to your destination, and you're just enjoying the ride. And actually, if you think about it, like, take yourself out of this moment, that's what you want to be doing anyway, isn't it? Like, you want to be living in flow, you want to be living in like just as a passenger princess, all your needs being taken care of, like being so catered to, being cared for, being provided for in all the different ways, so that you're not having to stress and force and like make things happen. Like things are happening for you and things are working for you, and you're almost feeling like you're only taking action when you're inspired to, not because you feel like you have to or because it's required of you, but because it's a choice, because there's an act of freedom. So that's exactly what's happening now. You're being initiated, you're being transitioned through this. And I get, you know, it's trauma that's making you hyper aware of taking note of the tiny little changes because of, you know, fearing of things in the past that have happened in the past. But you're not in that reality anymore, and that's coming up to be cleared out because you can trust now. You're safe now. You're always in the right place now. You're fully guided now. You're tuned in. You're tapped in. You're connected to source, babe. You're following your divine path. You're following your higher power. How can you not be guided? How can you be anything but guided? Like, you're so guided and protected and cared for and provided for, and there's so much evidence of this. If you need to, like, reflect on all the evidence of this, where you've been provided for, where your needs have been met for you. You were probably provided for in so many ways that you're just not seeing right now. Already abundantly provided for. And that's the truth. That is the truth. And I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for this message because it's exactly what was needed right now. I feel like it's a collective things right now. Things are happening so fast, things are shifting so fast, and you know what, you put so much work in. Like, you deserve this, you've worked for this, and now you don't need to work anymore. And that's what you're transitioning into, that more feminine led way in all the different areas of life. You've mastered it in some areas of your life, now your life is asking you to master it in other areas. That's amazing. Can you hear all of that? They're all beautiful signs and confirmations. So it's a nice short and sweet message today by the water. Beautiful body of water. And I'm tired, you know, so listen to your body. If it's calling for rest, rest. But if it's calling for adventure, adventure. If it's calling for stillness, give it stillness. Listen, just as you already are doing, but even deeper, even more fine-tuned, providing even more of your needs being met, because they have to be. Because if you're to give abundantly in alignment with your soul's purpose, your divine blueprint of being here on this planet, you also need to be abundantly provided for. So, like, you're worth it, you know? Of course you are. How can you be anything but? We're all born innately worthy. And I know you already know this, but it's nice to have that little reminder. So thank you for checking in today. Thank you for trusting. Thank you for trusting yourself. Thank you for trusting Spirit. Because we on this, we live in a life of devotion, walking the path of devotion to love, to source, to self. We are divine beings, so loved, so provided for, so nourished and worshipped by life, which is why we worship life too. So tuned in with nature. You can feel the momentum, baby, and you don't need to force and you don't need to align your ducks anymore, so everything's all in order. Everything's already aligned, you've already tidied everything, everything's ready and prepared. Enjoy the wave of momentum and rest more, because you're shifting into more expansive timelines, even richer quality of life. Like, life's happening for you, not to you. Always remember that life is happening for you, through you, birthed by your own desires, led by your higher self and your teams in spirit. What a blessing it is to be alive. Let your heart shine. Breathe into your heart. Allow the breath, a conscious breath in, a letting go breath. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the peace. Find more peaceful moments. Find more still moments. Nurturing moments of nature. Drinking plenty of water. Looking after your body, mind and soul, because things are about to pick up. Things are about to pick up, and that's what you can feel, and that's why you're hyper aware. I'm gonna have to sit down because the channel's still coming. Yeah, you're hyper aware of what's going off in the cosmos. You're a super sensitive being, just like myself, and you're hyper aware of what's going off in the cosmos. So you can feel it, but you can't make sense of it, and that's why you're hyper alert to subtle changes. But everything's always happening for your greatest and highest good. You're such a sensitive, beautiful soul here, creating the new earth, the new paradigm, guiding and lighting the way for others to follow, just by being yourself, just by shining your light. You are so worthy, and you already know that. Like, I'm just reminding you because it's nice to hear it, but you already know all of this, so I'm just telling you what you already know because you just wanted that beautiful reminder. Divinely guided, divinely blessed, divinely orchestrated. 12:22 could be a sign that this message is for you. Baby, you're already going to know if this message is for you. You're going to feel the resonance of like, yeah, that's what I needed to hear. That's exactly what I needed to hear from an external source that doesn't know me, that doesn't know what I'm doing. But trust in these micro changes. You're in the season of receiving, baby. This is your year. This is your year of receiving. And it's okay to trust that now. I know it's foreign, it's new, it's sticky because you don't know it, but you're being initiated into these new energies of positive, empowered, serving you change. If life gets to be easier change, if you don't need to exert yourself and try so hard change, if you are already not worthy and complete and enough for all the places you desire to be. Because it's a compatible match, you're not having to force it, you're not trying to convince anybody. You're already enough for all the things that you desire. So now you're just letting it in and just getting rid of any stickiness on the sides that's like blocking it from coming in, which is what all these little things that are triggering you in your life right now are initiating you to do, to bring safety and comfort to those parts of you that still want to hold on or still want to cling. But you're already doing all the right things. It's just your past that has made you hyper aware to these changes. Alright, love you lots. Thank you for tuning in. You're loved as always. Stick around, subscribe for more. It's nice for you to support this channel and for you to tune in. Tip to tap in, as one as the other YouTubers say. I found that funny and cute. Lots of love. See you again soon.